Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, I've been saying pretty much very inconsistent with these Edward Roman things, and I'm a bit ashamed about it because my schedule's been really packed nowadays, and I won't say I'm not able to manage the time properly, but just not prioritizing this thing well. I have time for many things. I have time to waste time, so that is definitely not an excuse. I'm just not able to do it. And I have some stuff planned today, which some work I have got to do before completing. Sorry, before going to bed, and I'm really not in the mood to do the work right now. I'm really tired, so I just needed a quick break. And instead of just going watch my Netflix, well, I don't have a Netflix, I use Prime. Or instead of just wasting time, I was like, why don't we have a quick session of this thing right now, which is the end game. So sorry, the middle game, and the session's gonna be very quick. I'm just gonna give my very best, and let's say what how much do we perform today. Today's aim is just to be as quick and just give a tiny little attendance and perhaps not give my best, but just gotta do the stuff quick, 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 quick. All right, then let us go. So the warm up, I think we were on the 30th one. Where's my watch? All right, I think I left my watch at the gym. Need to check with my friend, and that's why I was wondering where are my steps. Uh, just a second. Oh Jesus! Did I just click my WhatsApp? Oh, all right, bro. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. What are you doing, man? Don't waste time. 3 minutes already been passed, and you haven't done anything significant. Come on, come on, come on. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Yeah, yeah. I remember this thing, which was a bit complicated, but yeah, that's what the answer. All right, all right, all right. Warm up, 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 warm up. Warm up, 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 warm up. Huh? Hmm. All right. The first move comes to my mind is definitely Queen G6. I don't know why. It just comes to my mind. And apparently that's the correct one. What do you say? Nah. Queen G6 takes, and yeah, I guess that's the correct one. I don't know why is that the first move which comes to my mind. Perhaps it being a check and it being very, very cool. And I guess that's the answer, right? That's the checkmate. Yeah. Queen G6, F G6, boom, boom. Yeah, checkmate. Easy. Boom, boom. Yeah. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Black to play. The first move which comes to my mind is definitely queen to f1, and then playing something like queen to e rook to e1. But I gotta find something better. There should be something significant hiding. Uh, all right. What if I just take, and I don't seem to have any counter play because the best part is that we are threatening bishop d4, and if he plays rook f8, then they want to give a check. He moves, and then we just capture, and that looks winning. Anyhow, Overconfidence, guys. I won't blame my bad mood for that, but just some overconfidence. इसमें दिक्कत क्या है भाई? Yes, that evaluation. Yeah, misevaluated, could have done it. Not F5, Rook D7 counter play. Yeah, for sure. Rook E1, easy. Yeah, Rook E1 was easy. Deflection, and he has nothing. Now we are actually threatening Bishop D4. Hmm, not that hard. If he goes here, then I guess. Right? Yeah, this seems to be the correct answer. Hmm. What? अच्छा नहीं 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 अच्छा हाँ है oh lol okay okay I'm blind focus Harshit focus I know you are in a hurry but that doesn't mean you want to make some serious some weird numbers. All right, Rook G7 is the move which rings my mind purely. That seems the best. Oh no, you know what? Rook E1 seems more principled for some reason to me. Yes, definitely not Rook D1, but Rook G1. Very counterintuitive, but very subtle and strong at the same time. He can't play Queen E3 or something. And if he does that, then there's a back right checkmate. And I guess the whole point of this puzzle is to defy the concept because Rook G7 is very tempting. But unfortunately, this is the best answer. Not this because it comes with a check and then that would be a zero trade. Though that also looks fine to me, but no, that's not fine because this, and the queen traded, blah, blah, blah. So rook g1, that's the correct answer. Yes, queen h4, whatever, doesn't matter. It's a checkmate. All right, all right, all right, all right. Luck to play again, quite an easy one, I guess, but I'm a noob, so I gotta focus. What if I just capture, and play rook queen bishop to d6, but then he's gonna give a check, takes there. Takes doesn't seem right to me for some reason. But what if I just go, uh, uh hmm, I just really feel like distracting this knight, you know? Alright, the first move comes from mind is definitely rook to d2 plus bishop d6 and then the queen d6, bishop d6, knight f3. Nah, knight f3 protects everything, and even if you give the edge to pawn, get the edge to pawn, there's nothing significant called that. There's just a mere pawn, you know? And we can't put that energy just in pawn. Yeah, so there should be something even better. Honor should think I've got to solve. I've got to solve much more harder puzzles now. I have some challenge I did to myself. Weird, but let's see. All right, what about the quite subtle rook to b1? Any problem with that? Not exactly, because we are threatening to capture the rook and then capture the knight. And if he goes back knight f3, then what do we do? Then I guess we just capture the queen. Yes, we can just capture the queen, right? That's the queen. Because if the knight captures queen, then we want to capture the rook. So yeah, it looks to be correct. Rook b1. Yes, rook b1 is correct. Plus minus king g2. All right, I missed that. But okay, there's nothing to miss it here. Rook b1, game over. Tomaszewski ding. All right. Exercise number 35. Quite complicated one, but the more complicated it is, the easier it is to solve it. You just need to figure out what's going on in position. And the first move which comes to my mind, the candidate move. Many candidate move, but I don't know, some candidate moves like many comes to my mind though. Though my personal choice would be not to play knight f4 because check. Yeah, why not knight f4? That looks correct. No, the king is escaping by f5, so what I'm trying to say is that knight f4, gf4, bishop d5, king g3, rook g8, and king f4, f5, g5, sorry, g5, king f5, and then the king is somewhat escaping, though I think it should be a checkmate. Okay, let me calculate. Let's keep it simple. Let's just calculate. So knight f4 takes bishop d5. He can't go king h2 because then we give a check. And that's a draw. He has a draw up his sleeve. Uh, yeah, we can't get him on f4. So yeah, the move that comes to my mind is definitely now knight to c3. But what if he goes knight c3, then he just simply plays rook e3. That's the trouble. Hmm. And that is why I was thinking to why not start with something like rook to b2, but that doesn't make any sense. Rook b2, knight c3, unnecessary loss of material. But knight g3 looks forcing, but knight d3, knight rook e3, then bishop d5, we can just go king f2, can't he? But then we can give up fork and just pick up the rook, and that resulting position should be eventually better for us, but definitely not to winning or that clear. But I can just find that as of now. So rook to e1 looks quite interesting, but again, that makes no sense. So that is definitely not interesting. Yeah, maybe some other execution, knight f6. No plan, but knight c3 is more forcing. Okay, do I find anything else? Check or something? Nah, something crazy? Nah. All right, the knight c3 rings a bell and takes, of course, that's a checkmate. Yeah, for sure. So rook e2 and then check, and then he should not go there. It's a checkmate. King f2, then there's a fork, and that should be good for us. Yeah, knight c3, king f3. Okay, that is something I would not consider, but okay. That is obvious. B cross c3, then bishop d5, king h2 checkmate. And apparently, this is not the best variation, which I thought to be, because it's just, I think, getting some pieces into the game. Yeah, but whatever. Yeah, of course, objectively, it should be winning. So we are done with the warm up. 5 puzzles. And let's get back to where we were. All right, replay training, rook g1 was the answer. I remember this one. Positional thing, and that's why I got a bit astonished about last time. All right, white to play. I think the level is slightly increasing. Uh, Not slightly, but definitely increasing slowly but surely. And it's time for me to buckle up and make sure I'm not sharing my songs with sounds. All right, you can see my playlist. Very weird taste nowadays, but it is what it is. Hey Ram, Hare Krishna. Bad coordination. Straightforward. Here game over. Queen e5, then with e8. Yeah, game over. What I feel is five. Queen g5. Too much backspin weaknesses, rook is hanging, and indeed, yes, rook e8. Might go bishop h3. Captain rook, takes, rook. Six as well. Quite interesting. But bishop e5 definitely should be the job. I want to make sure he gets the time to develop his bishop. I just don't want him to come into the game yet before we dash him. Should or not be. We can capture and then rook d1 is pretty strong. There's no way he can just stop our rook coming to d8 because there's a dark square. And let me evaluate that position material wise. Bishop e5 takes, and then we lose a bishop. But what we have remaining in the end, all right, we are a piece down. We are. If we get an exchange, we have queen, two rooks for queen and two bishop. With a very strong attack. Rook to d1, bishop to g4. Takes, queen f7. Really strong attack. I think that should be the answer. But I still want to find something significant, a move which I might be missing. Bishop b5, bishop b5. Takes, bishop x3. You know what? No. We can just go bishop g2, bishop g7. Because king g7, we have queen g7, which I miss you. And that does game over for sure. But b7 is pretty strong. Really strong. And that should do the job after, for instance, king g8, queen f6. Bishop e5, bishop e5, yeah, of course. Queen b8. Simple deflection, distraction, whatever. My friend Natik Mehta, can you knows, bro said to me. So of course that's something I knew way before. But when Natik mentioned me, then I guess it was time for me to be even more hyper conscious. Queen g4, bishop h3, and then yeah, bishop g7. Rook b7 is interesting, but bishop g7 game over. He can't capture it to yes, rook g7, which I missed. Rook d1 is also interesting for sure, but not that much. Rook b7. This was the move I didn't want to miss. And let's say king g7, for instance, queen h7 game over. Indeed, obviously, knight f7, queen 7 plus. Nice. Let's do one more. Okay, I didn't see the answer. I swear to God. All right, I need something, some good song. Uh-huh. Give me some song. You know what? Don't judge my song, guys. This is what I listen to when I drive some car, you know. So that's my car playlist, bro. संत महात्मा कौन नहीं रे चंबल के डाकू से 97. I don't find anything. Game over. But no, there's something better. What if we start with Bishop D5? Bishop D5 would be 7, and then knight D7. Isn't that more crushing? Nah, because the problem is that we go rook B8, rook can play rook E8 back. Let's see if we find anything. 97, 97, and then Bishop C6 is coming quite strong. That's not worth the material. Something more significant, Harshit. Ah, pretty. Bishop d5, rook d5, rook b4 with the same idea of executing knight to e7, but aiming to remove the queen from the a4 e8 diagonal. Rook b4. एक second, trap तो नहीं है definitely. It can go on a2, but then we go knight e7, giving a fork. And now if he goes that, then we have rook b8 and bishop f8, and then queen c8 should do the job. Considering he can't go queen a8, a3, protecting bishop on f8, because these squares are blocked by the rook. All right, I'm sure. Yes. Bishop d5, rook d5. Okay, I should have checked. That was very careless. But okay, it's all right. Bishop d5, rook d5, rook b4. Pretty brilliant move. I still can't believe how did I find it that quickly. A fluke for sure. Rook b4, queen a2, knight e7, king h, of course, king h8, and then rook e7, and then queen c8, bishop f8, rook b8. What? Oh yeah, same thing, whatever. I doubt if rook b8 should be wrong. That's the same thing, isn't it? Just curious. No, not the same thing. Why? Rook e8 takes bishop f8. What about this? Ah, ah. What's the difference? अभी नहीं आ सकता ये bishop f8, rook b8, queen a3. अच्छा, this position e6 is more powerful. But उसमें क्या दिक्कत थी? हाँ, उसमें rook e8 पर है, queen नहीं है. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Doesn't matter because we are winning, but very interesting. आंखों से That's the difference, isn't it? Queen c8, bishop. दिखा ना यार क्या कर रहे हैं? Queen c8, queen c8. Bishop F8, Rook E8. Yes. Now E6 is super strong. Whereas Rook B8, he can play Rook E8, which should be a good move. Yeah. We need to be, and now E6 is not that strong. Definitely a win is a win, but some nice stuff. All right, guys, I have some work to do. So I'm gonna go. Yeah. So let's catch up again. See you soon. And yeah, quick stuff, nice stuff, and indeed, productivity was not at all compromised. 5 former puzzle and 2 hard puzzles, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So that's what I guess focus can really do. And of course, putting it on a real chessboard would have been much better and all these things. But whatever. We achieve the same productivity in a very less time, and I guess that's a perfect example of being productive. And yeah, whatever. Let's call it a day. Hope you have a good time, and I hope you took your time if you're watching this video by putting it on a real chessboard and just being very, very slow and just thinking. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.